Hi, students. Welcome back to another week of class. I hope you're doing well. I'm really excited just to see how engaging some of you have already been in the course. And a lot of you are just asking really great questions and reaching out if you're struggling. So it's great to have you. We have a lot of groundwork to cover. Last week, we just kind of tipped the surface of what does purpose mean and what does audience mean and how do those things relate to our writing? But this week, we are going to talk about what we call common language in writing. What I'm hopeful that this is going to do is it's going to establish a vocabulary between you and between me. And so when I'm referencing something, you'll have a very clear understanding of what I'm talking about. And a lot of this has to do with parts of a paper or parts of a paragraph. And the reason that's so important this week is because we are going to be talking about our first essay and our first essay outline and what that looks like for you. So, first of all, the basic parts of an academic essay, and these are things you've probably heard since you started writing, but we have introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. We're going to break those down a little bit more. So, an introduction, this is when you're going to be talking about what you plan to write about in your essay. And there's really three main parts of an introduction. You have your hook, your transition or your background information, and then finally you have your thesis as well. So, for example, and what I've done here is I've constructed a paragraph or what we call an argumentative essay where you are arguing a point. This is an example of an argumentative essay on the topic of whether or not fully online education is a viable option for the present or future. It's as simple as logging on. Students from all over the country are learning to take control of their own education through the power of the internet. Gone are the days when a student must get up, get ready, and sit in a classroom to learn and obtain a degree. Today, they have the capability to learn from their kitchen table, their car, or even waiting in line at the DMV. What you can see there is an attention getter, and that is what we call a hook, highlighted here in this blue. I then go on to say they can take their education anywhere. While many are questioning whether online education is a viable, ethical, and realistic way for a student to obtain education, the proof is in the outcomes that the education system is already seeing. Online learning is the future of education. Online education should continue improving and growing due to the inclusive nature it provides for so many students, the flexibility it offers for those who must work while obtaining their degree, and the way it shapes students to be more technologically advanced for their future workforces or places. Highlighted here in the green, this is what we call a transition. What it's done is that blue portion, the hook, grab the reader's attention. And then that green is just kind of some background information. It's just a very transitional way to go to your thesis statement. The thesis statement is what is highlighted in yellow. And some of you might be saying, I don't know what a thesis statement is. I've never heard that. The thesis statement is the main message or idea that you plan to communicate in your essay. What I try to tell students is when they're writing a paper, a thesis statement is if they were to walk away and they wanted their audience to understand one thing, that is the message. That is the thesis statement. So what you can see here in this introduction, these are three very distinct parts and they all have their own job, which is why it's so pivotal that you include all of them. The next part of the essay is called the body paragraphs. Every body paragraph should have three things: a topic sentence that indicates a clear transition to a new idea, supporting claims or details that support that topic, and then a summative sentence that indicate that your idea is coming to a close. Going back to the same topic in the argumentative essay, I've constructed a body paragraph here. Online learning provides an incredible opportunity for teachers to create an inclusive environment, one that allows all students to feel comfortable in their learning experience. Online education has many tools that can help students who need various accommodations. What I've done there is I've introduced a new topic. The topic is proving and arguing that online education creates an inclusive environment, okay? And that is what you see highlighted in blue. I have clearly introduced the topic that I'm going to be discussing. The green part is what we call the supporting details or supporting claims. For example, there are great online techniques to help those with hearing impairments. Teachers can use inclusive software that allows students to read what they are saying on YouTube. The subtitles allow students to take their time in reading, and the teacher can guide them through the lectures using visual aids. Another great example to consider are the students who have anxiety when speaking in class. Discussion boards offer an opportunity for all the students to be heard. These students can voice their opinions, analysis, and challenges without the anxiety-provoking methods of hand raising or attempting to speak in front of an audience. There are many times when one or two students dominate class discussion, and discussion board tools are great ways to ensure all classroom voices are heard. When considering the multitude of ways that online learning creates inclusivity, it perhaps exceeds what the teacher is able to do even in an in-person learning environment. Here in the green, what you've seen is I've created clear examples, and they each relate back to the topic. I've shown you here what we can do for students with hearing impairments. I've shown you what we can do with students with anxiety, and that all relates back to this topic of creating an inclusive environment. Then here at the bottom in yellow, what I've done is I've simply summarized what I said. I showed you that I was coming to a close and that I would soon be moving on to a new idea. So again, in the blue, we have our topic sentence. In the green, we have our explanatory ideas or our supporting details and claims. And in the yellow, we have what we call a summative sentence. The final part of an essay is what we call a conclusion. And the conclusion has two main jobs. It should restate the thesis, and it gives you any closing remarks. Depending on what type of essay you're writing, your conclusion may have a few different ideas. Some may have a call to action, some may post a question, but each of them should always restate the thesis statement. An argumentative essay example, going off the same topic that we've already discussed, is right here. Restatement of thesis is right here in the beginning. Inclusive environments, flexibility, and a growing confidence when using technology are just concepts that scrape the surface of considering the absolute necessity of advancing in online education. What I want you to notice here is I've said the thesis statement over again, but I've used different words. I'm not just copying and pasting what I put in the introduction, but I'm reframing the idea using different language and word variation. Then I put the impactful reality of technology is there is constant opportunity to grow and evolve to make life better for everyone. This is what education needs to continue considering when there are questions as to the effectiveness of an online learning platform. There is no limit to how far education can continue to develop for those who would not be able to attend school without this online opportunity. Online education is the future of education. Again, these are just some closing remarks. I'm essentially reiterating the main points, and I'm leaving you with something to think about as I'm closing the essay. One thing I want you to know is here in the conclusion, I put the thesis statement pretty early on in the paragraph just to reiterate that idea. But if we go back to the introduction, the thesis statement is towards the end of the introduction paragraph. This is really important because as your reader is beginning this essay, you want to leave them with the idea that the essay is going to be about. You want to put their focus to the most essential part of the essay. And once again, the thing that's most important, the main message. Going back to just talking about the essay holistically, when we talk about an introduction in a thesis statement and those body paragraphs, when we look at the body paragraphs, each topic sentence should always support the thesis statement. If you ever look at your topic sentences of each body paragraph and you see that you've gone off track, you need to consider your focus and your organization. Do each of the topic sentences relate back to my bigger thesis statement? For example, if you look in this argumentative essay example body paragraph, here we have online learning provides an incredible opportunity for teachers to create an inclusive environment, one that allows students to feel comfortable in their learning experience. Online education has many tools that can help students who need various accommodations. When you go back to the introduction, you can see how that directly relates to this thesis statement. Not only does it relate to it, I've even outlined it here in the thesis statement. So you see this direct connection. Guys, this is the common language that we're going to be using all semester long. So it's really important that you fully understand what each part of the essay is and what each part means as far as what goes into these individualized paragraphs. If you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to reach out because, like I said, this information that you're getting is pivotal to your success for the rest of the semester. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to working with you again this week.